Yeah! Alright. I know what you're thinking. You got some splaining to do. So, I'm gonna do some splaining for you. So sit back and listen, because there's a whole lot of splaining going on. Anyways, about a week ago, I fell off something. I'm stupid. So, fell off something, fell right on my heels, both my heels. Well, I guess technically my feet, right? Fell like 5 feet in the air. Smashed my heels, mostly. It was all my feet too, my little toesies and everything, little piggly wigglies. So, smashed those up. I'd show you guys, but you probably don't want to see that. It's not what you're here for. You can check my OnlyFans. You know, I'll have some bruised and, you know, purple, blue feet pics on there, but that's besides the point. So, basically, I've been MIA, I've been MIA, yeah, for about a week now. I know I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks, so what we're gonna do now is something that you didn't expect. And I will get the camera turned around and we'll kind of take a look at what happened before my little incident where it left me crippled somewhat. So, yeah. And there it is. Obviously, didn't finish painting the whole car. It's the illusion, right? So, but the point of the matter is, all this is gone. No coilovers, no fuel cell, no radiator. Oh, what's going on? So, no longer a car because I'm an idiot and I have to redo things just because I think of smarter ways to do things. Smarter? More smart? I don't know. I think of better ways to do things. And I thought, well, I was doing these rear brake lines, right? And I was going to make up a mount for them and everything. Fuel cell mount was just looking really janky. I built it like, I don't know, almost a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So it was just looking really janky with like the round tube and everything. So I decided, well, let's take that out and redo it, and then we can do that brake line so nothing's in the way, right? Well, taking the fuel cell out led to taking the radiator out, to taking the coilovers out. What a fiasco. So, now the mission is to redo the coilovers so that obviously I can make the car a roller again. But I'm going to take a little more time on the coilover setup, and this is because the mission now is no longer using a bolt as a pivot point, which isn't bad to say, but basically what happens is there's a lot of tension and, like, I guess a little bit of bind. So this would be the pivot point here. Obviously you can see where it was like pivoting around the bracket. Don't mind the paint. It's custom patina, custom, you know, it's custom, so don't mind that. So anyways, this is the pivot point. It basically, there's nothing wrong with like running a bolt and everything like that, but you run into like tension issues and everything, and then it's just all around, you might as well just do it the right way, right? Basically. So that's what's going on here. I was like, I'm gonna redo all this, so I might as well redo the mounts, which I never fully welded in anyways for the rear coilovers when I did like this push rod style setup. So basically, right, the idea here with all my mumbling is to take that out, right? So what I'm gonna do now is, for both passenger and driver side, I am going to cut a radius out in these brackets, right? So cutting a radius out in these brackets, both of them, and then these are going to get welded to this tube structure, right? To the tube. So those are going to get welded to that, and then it's not going to be this long, obviously. It'll be shortened about a little bit. It'll probably be the width of this heim. So probably about right there or so. So I'll get all that figured out, measured up. So these will get tack welded to this. Obviously this is going to be the new structure. So there's that, and I'm going to be converting to a roller bearing setup, which makes life a whole lot easier. These are open bearings, if it'll focus. Jesus Christ, do your thing, guy. Will it do it? There you go. Okay, so these are roller bearings. They're open, so dirt can get in them. I don't expect a whole lot to get in there, just because they're in the rear of the car and they're going to be kind of high up. So we'll see, obviously. But roller bearing setup. Gonna do a double shear style, so I'm gonna have two bearings packed up against each other. This is a 1/2 inch hole and a 1.5 inch outer diameter. And so basically the idea is that slides in there, has no zero to no play, you know, no play. So basically there is a new mount or a new pickup point that will be welded to that junk, and then this will fit. Like I said, I'm probably gonna botch this a little because it's gonna fall, but obviously I don't need this stupid sleeve that's stuck in here. It's actually stuck in here. Jesus Christ, dude, get out of here, guy. Okay, got the stupid sleeve out, one-handed. Whoa, professional. So boom, there's your new pickup point, right? So there's that. I'm gonna take my time, like I said, so get all this done up, and then before I actually like mount the coilovers and get my angles figured out, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on making the housings, and then I need to go get the right bolts, so probably go get the bolts, and then yeah, those should be good. So, alright, got all this cleaned up, got it cut up. You can see that I left a little edge there on both sides. So this way I can get a clean weld on both sides of each tab. And then obviously right now I have this like stick out like crazy, right? So the tabs that mount to the chassis are still, I think they're 1/4 inch thick or something like that. So it's still gonna stick out quite a bit. So I will need like a really long 1/2 inch bolt, but I'll have to go get that either today or tomorrow. It just depends. But at least I can get this situated, you know what I mean? And then go about tacking it on, then you know, bolting it all together with the bearings inside, and get the spacers lined up, and then yeah, then I can bolt it, and then I can start tacking everything, and then making the mounts on the chassis, which I have an idea for. That's going to be very simple but very cool looking. So we'll get to that later, but for now I'm just gonna do up the other side because this is just the one side, so I still got to do the other side. So I'm gonna do the other side now, and then yeah, that'd basically be it. Oh, okay, so trash. Just went to Lowe's and got my hardware to be able to mount everything to the chassis. So got my 1/2 inch bolt. I measured, what was it, about 3.5 inches of like bolt length is what I needed, but I ended up going with a 4 just in case. So I got those two things there, got my lock nuts, I got a bunch of washers. I'm not going to need all of them, but it's always good to have extras on hand. And I did get some more sleeves. It's always good to have these too. So bought 4 of those just in case I need them, just to space everything out correctly, just in case. So got all that, and now basically gonna tack weld the, it's over there somewhere, yeah, look, peeking out, woo, yay. So I'm gonna tack weld the little tube to the crank, and then basically I can start putting it all together, and then like making a mount for the back, because I got to make a new mount of where everything's gonna go. So yeah, let's do that. Basically what I did was I just took it back to the way it was. So the way that it went, you know, parallel with the fuel cell. So I took it back to this setup. It worked before, just the other coilovers and shocks, those were just blown basically. So yeah, I just went back to this. Obviously it's converted to roller bearing setup on both sides. Pretty even for the most part. You know, might be off by like a little bit, but it still functions the same. Worst case that I might have to do, that I'm looking at it, maybe not, is I'm gonna have to probably shorten these rod ends a little bit, just because it does kind of get at a wonky angle when it fully maxes out. So like this would be ride height, right? So you know, obviously it'll go up, no problem, and it'll go down, no problem, right? but obviously, I mean, they will never get this low, if that makes sense. They will never actually be this low, just because of the short travel on the 4-link, you know. Plus, it's almost bottomed out right there on both sides of the body. So basically went 180 degrees of what I was doing, which, you know, is what it is. There was just too much going on with the other stuff, and then I didn't really want to, I mean, it looked good, but I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want to have to spend a whole lot of time doing it, just because I want to get the car on the road. So at least I have everything roller bearing now. It's back to the same setup it was before. I am going to throw some the coils in there and see how it travels and see how it supports the weight and everything, with just the tack welds. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and then yeah, that's basically going to be it for this one. It's something, you know, at least you saw kind of how I mounted the roller bearing setup. But yeah, anyways, thanks dudes, I appreciate it. Hopefully I can have another one again soon. We'll see how everything's treating me. I'm supposed to go on vacation soon, so yeah, we'll see. But anyways, thanks dudes, I appreciate it. Bye.